We are live. What's up, geeks and gamers? It's Jeremy and it's Ryan coming to you with another live stream. And we're probably going to go for about an hour because I promised Krista, Darth Barbie, I was going to stream with her, and I had to cancel on the last second because I said Obi-Wan Kenobi series. Me and Ryan need to go on here and be arrogant as hell because you motherfuckers try to tell us we were
spreading fake news. They're spreading fake toxic news.
And Ryan, didn't we just get a story from Collider? Is that what we got, Ryan?
That is what we got. And you know, it's funny because these fucking journalists, these people that write these bullshit articles that we've been following, you know, for years now, following about Star Wars, they do the exact same thing that every other person does. When they hear something, they go to Twitter and they go, Kenobi canceled. And that's what they search. That's why they determined that it was all based on some parody account. That's what they thought it was. And they were fucking wrong. They made the wrong assumption, just like they always do.
Yep. It's always toxic. It's always, everybody's like, oh, Geeks and Gamers. Geeks and Gamers is spreading fake news. No, fuck you, motherfuckers. What we did is we talked about a rumor that was going on. We never said it was true or not true. We covered a fucking rumor. All right? And I heard these little miserable people, these guys that when they look down, their belly sticks out further than their dick. We heard them crying that Geeks and Gamers are spreading fake news. No, what we've been telling you for 2 years is that Kathleen Kennedy is a fucking idiot. Kathleen Kennedy doesn't know what the fuck she's doing. And the one thing that has been announced that got universal acceptance, in my opinion, was the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. Everybody wants to see Ewan McGregor back as Obi-Wan Kenobi. We all wanted to see this. But what did people like me and Ryan say? What did we say? We said, this is something I would love to see, but it's Lucasfilm. It's Lucasfilm, you know, and look what we have here. Now, I'm speculating at this point, the negotiations were short. Nice one, Tyler.
That is good.
Am I like... It's bad that we're at a point where I have to be. I'm excited that this got canceled. Why? Because I didn't want to see Ewan McGregor as maybe he was going to transition. Maybe that was the pitch that they made him. They were going to transition into a woman, and he's like, "Fuck you, motherfucker."
That was the creative controversy. Yeah, that was the creative differences. He didn't want to get a sex change or something for the role. Maybe that was it.
Yeah, exactly. So if you're just joining us right now, this is an exclusive from Collider. Obi-Wan Kenobi series on Disney Plus is on hold as crew sent home. Now, again, I'm going to read a little bit about this article. Ryan, you are still kind of freezing up a little bit, so I don't know if you wanted to leave and come back. But so it's but we're covering this now because a lot of people, a lot of these betas out there, a lot of these guys that get on social media and use the word toxic because someone has a difference of opinion. A lot of those guys tried to say that this was, they were spreading fake news again, yada, yada, yada. And they were trying to say it was from a parody account, some bullshit like that. Now, again, does this mean it's true? Doesn't mean it's 100% true. And nobody's saying that it's 100% true. What I'm saying is that now we have other outlets that are picking it up. Grace Randolph talked about that she had some information about there was a lot of production problems. And now we've got Collider with an exclusive saying that, and again, Collider can be hit or miss for me as well. The point is Kathleen Kennedy is a terrible leader. That is the point here. That is the biggest point. Kathleen Kennedy is a terrible leader. Everything that this woman has touched, and she was the one that introduced Ewan McGregor, if I'm not mistaken, right? When they made this announcement, wasn't Kathleen Kennedy front and center with that?
Yes, exactly. Because they finally had some good news, some things that the fans actually wanted to hear, right? All these years, all this buildup, you heard Ewan McGregor say it. We've been talking about this for years. I haven't been able to say anything. And you still dropped the fucking ball.
Yep. It's hilarious, man. It's absolutely hilarious. So we're reading the Collider article. And again, no, I'm not saying that just because Collider is covering it, this is 100% true. What I'm saying is that there was more to it than this fucking parody account that these people were trying to say it was based off of. That was just as Ryan and Candace were talking in the in our Geeks and Gamers chat, it was just a coincidence. Ultimately, the problems with Obi-Wan Kenobi and that parody account posting that was just a simple coincidence that happened. And here we are now. So go ahead, Ryan.
Exactly, because that parody account tweeted 2 days before all these rumors of the Kenobi series actually being canceled happened. So it basically said, I actually have a really funny screenshot right here if you want to share my screen real quick, Jeremy. Okay. It's the parody account. Here, let me zoom in on this. It's the parody account showing what it did. Bruh. So this is dick sussing film as opposed to discussing film. This was their tweet from January 15th. This is actually discussing films tweet from today with the same picture and everything. So they knew what they were doing. But the thing is, 2 days before they heard rumblings, and we heard rumblings from media, like people in the media, people in the business. That's who started hearing these rumblings of Kenobi being canceled, including a guy who does scoops like this. Like, that's what he does. He has like a Patreon where he just like gets scoops like that. He's the one that broke the Luke Skywalker cat, which still hadn't been confirmed necessarily, but he's a guy that's, behind the scenes. Those were the people that were talking about this, not a parody account. Then when it all started coming out, just like you did, just like I did, we ran to Twitter and we said, Kenobi canceled. This popped up. And everyone's like, oh, this must be it. And all these fucking garbage tier websites run with that because everybody else is saying it. They didn't do any digging. They didn't even understand what was going on. And that's the problem with the media right now.
Yeah. It's absolutely right. It's 100% right. And so if you're just joining us, this is from Collider, exclusive Obi-Wan series, Disney Plus series on hold as crew sent home. Last week, troubling rumors began swirling about the upcoming Disney Plus series revolving around the character of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Ewan McGregor is poised to reprise his role as Star Wars prequel, blah, 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 blah. Two independent sources with knowledge of the situation tell Collider that the Obi-Wan Kenobi series has been put on hold as the crew had assembled at Pinewood Studios in London was sent home. A time frame was not given, but the crew was told that the show would be down indefinitely. We're hearing that Lucasfilm president and Obi-Wan producer Kathleen Kennedy was not happy with the script. That means it was probably fan-fucking-tastic right there. That's the line you need. That's what you need to hear right here. If I could I can't highlight it. Fuck you. Anyway, we're hearing that Lucasfilm president and Obi-Wan Kenobi producer Kathleen Kennedy was not happy with the script. What does that tell every single person with the just a little bit of common sense? That it was probably pretty fucking good. And it was probably letting men be men. And it probably didn't have any identity politics. And I mean, look what we got with Solo. Like I mean, she was unhappy with Lord Miller's Solo, and look what the finished product was, a pile of garbage.
Imagine them just like, imagine them just being like, oh well, we're gonna start taking really hard look, quality control now at Lucasfilm. This just isn't good enough, not up to our par. The real thing is again this announcement that you talked about, Jeremy, where they bring Ewan McGregor out there. Make this big show of everything to get everybody excited. Why? So you buy Disney Plus. Because guess what? Like, people didn't really know what they were going to get in Mandalorian. I don't think they expected Mandalorian to be as big of a hit as it was, because people are so hungry for even Star Wars that's average right now that people will eat it up. So the Kenobi thing was supposed to be the big draw for Disney Plus. Now what the fuck are they going to do? Clone Wars is going to be done in a couple months, and season 2 of Mando, I guess, and that's it. That's all they have.
It's so bad. I mean, again, how is this woman still in power? How is this happening? It's unbelievable to me. My goodness. I mean, she is truly incompetent to a level that is almost hard to understand. I mean, now we've got Colin Trevorrow with the concept art and everything from his movie. And regardless, okay, Ryan, let me ask you, how did you feel? Because I was out of town when Robert dropped all that information. How did you feel about Colin Trevorrow's episode 9, script when you read it?
I thought it was better. I think that the way people are reacting to it, people want to like it a lot. You know what I mean? But you have a couple problems. One, the script was dated a couple days before Carrie Fisher passed away. So this script has so much Leia stuff in it that they wouldn't have been able to do what they did with this one. So it would have had to be changed. And that's where I do think the creative differences really came in. And I think it was better. It was definitely more coherent. It was better from the aspect of how you get to see Coruscant, you get to see how people are living, you get some understanding of the government
of the galaxy. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is a huge problem with The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. We have no idea what the hell is going on. There's no world building at all. That's a huge issue. So it was definitely better in that, from that aspect. I think that would have saved the sequel trilogy?
Well, no, but the reason I asked you that way, and then how do you feel now seeing the concept art? Does that maybe make you even think it was going to be even better after hearing the script, then or reading the script, then seeing the concept art? Did that do anything for you?
There was a couple really cool shots. Again, even the concept art for Rise of Skywalker, some of it looks pretty cool. We didn't necessarily get all of that.
That's true.
But it described, Robert's description of it, almost exactly. So what I think that concept art really did was for the couple people out there that weren't believing that this was a real script. They're basically BTFO'd now. The fact that all that lined up exactly with what Robert was telling everybody it said. Really tells you all you need to know. And so does Colin Trevorrow's actions, really. The fact that he's come out there and responded immediately to people when they make a false assumption about his movie or try to make a false statement, he responds immediately. All these leaks out there for days and days and days, doesn't say a peep. So.
Yep. All right. So if you're just joining us, this is an exclusive from Collider. The Obi-Wan Kenobi series has been put on hold indefinitely. There were a lot of rumors last week, and we covered it here on Geeks and Gamers. And there were several twat waffles that tried to say, "Oh, we don't know what we're talking about. We're just running with whatever clickbait story we can find." And now it appears that there is a lot more substance to this. Now, this does not confirm anything because Disney nor Lucasfilm has confirmed anything, at least at the time we went live. We have not heard any confirmation. The only thing we have heard from Disney or Lucasfilm is, I think Ewan McGregor's reps, didn't they make a comment that day that says everything was okay?
Yeah, so they were asked about it. They said that basically, to our knowledge, basically they haven't told us that the show's off or anything. Now, someone who should be doing dances today is Grace Randolph, who was one of the people from the beginning that came out and said, all this stuff about this parody account is garbage. That's not how it started. And then a couple days ago, she tweeted this, which I have shared right now.
Oh, okay. Well, I was going to pull that up, but if you got it, go ahead. All right. So there we go.
She tweeted this a couple days ago, #Obi-Wan. Reason people think show might be canceled is crew is put on indefinite hold, all looking for other work. Costume designer who was just hired wasn't. Old news, but it was released perhaps to thwart cancellation talk. Star Wars certainly doesn't need more drama. She said this 3 days ago, and that's basically exactly what we're hearing now. And she put out a couple other things. She's caught a lot of flack for going out against it. Here it is. This Scott Wimpler, I'll say Wimpler. One fun thing about the Kenobi hoax story is seeing people wave it away as a result of a tweet from a known parody account, when in reality, people were working on breaking that story long before that tweet went up, and they have very good reasons to be investigating it. Exactly. And that's what Grace Randolph said. Again, from a joke tweet, it's a real story. She has been on top of this thing. So good job to Grace. Whatever you think of her takes, there's no doubt that she was on top of this story from the beginning.
Absolutely.
Geeks and gamers.
That's right. And and trust me, I'm fixing to put some people on blast right now. Motherfuckers want to run your fucking mouths. I have no problem. I have not a fucking problem pulling those receipts up and letting you know what's up. So give me just a minute.
When the thing is, this is the world we live in, right? You report on rumors. This stuff's going on. It's not very often that Disney breaks a story for themselves, right? They don't come out and they're like, yeah, we're all fucked up. Things leak out. Rumors leak out from different places, and you kind of have to pick and choose, and you present it to your audience because you wouldn't want to be the guy that ignores something like that, like this, just because it's a rumor. So you talk about it, you say, this is probably a rumor. Now, this is why I think it might be true. And these are the things why you should maybe be skeptical, but decide for yourself. There's nothing wrong with doing that. That's how the news works.
Exactly. But we live in a world where these little betas, they just need everything spoon fed. And the moment you say something that dares, that kind of challenges their worldview or their opinion, suddenly you're toxic. So right now, so here's the tweet that I initially made right here. And Obi-Wan series canceled with a question mark. Now, I don't know if these nutbags understand what a question mark is, but then I said Lucasfilm was a disaster with an LOL, which I will confirm is true. Then somebody says, what? No, this was the only other thing I was remotely looking forward to. And this pork wallet here was like, it isn't canceled. Jeremy never checks his sources. And I said, mind telling me where we said it was true? I'll wait.
You guys always jump the gun on stories, no matter how little ground they hold. Remember, you claimed they turned off the comments to Star Wars channel to silence the fans, even though it was COPA?
And I said, interesting how you didn't answer a simple question. Just letting everyone know that you guys report on stories with little to no value. Clicks must be nice, but not at the risk of
integrity. You've got to have integrity.
And so again, do you mind telling me where we said it was true? You literally wrote Lucasfilm is a disaster, as you immediately assume it's true to give yourself a pat on the back to claim you were right. I will always be here to make sure people
aren't misinformed.
I will always be here. What a fucking hero, Jesus.
I love Vandy Coop's response.
As your brand grows, you have a responsibility not to jump the gun and just report on random shit without any facts to back it up. Your fan base just believes whatever you put out, and the ignorance spreads. Not taking responsibility makes you no better than any generic website.
So, and then I responded and I said, my only responsibility to you is to make sure I pull out. That way you don't get a brother or a sister, because we don't need any more retards like you in the world. But that's where we're at with it. If you're just joining us, Obi-Wan Kenobi series on hold indefinitely, according to Collider. Multiple sources say sources. And Collider's in LA, right, Ryan? Isn't that how it works?
I think if you're the closer you are to LA, I believe the better your sources are. That's just how it works.
That's how it works.
From what I've been told from insider sources.
That's how it works.
I'm in San Diego, so I'm pretty close. So believe.
But the most believable aspect to all of this is a line here in the Collider article where it says, "We're hearing Lucasfilm president and Obi-Wan Kenobi producer Kathleen Kennedy was not happy with the scripts. Sources tell us that what will most likely happen is the scripts will be reworked with the hopeful goal of reassembling this summer. But there's always the possibility that time frame could shift. So if Kathleen Kennedy is unhappy with the scripts, what does that almost certainly tell us? That tells us that this is probably pretty fucking good. And again, I've been screaming on this channel for 2 years that this woman needs to be fired. This woman is incompetent. This woman is stupid. This woman does not care about Star Wars. This woman only cares about identity politics and her agenda bullshit. That's all she cares about. That's it. I don't know how many more times I got to say, but I'm not going to stop saying it until this woman is gone. And I'm just so sick and tired of her.
That's the scary thing, right? That's the scary thing that, we're getting into. We've heard all these rumors. The next big thing leading up to these next movies that they're supposed to do in Project Luminous, supposedly set in a High Republic era, all of this. You have to get her out of there before you launch this thing. You cannot have her in control when you hire the directors and get everybody in charge of running this. You have to get her out now. In my mind, how can you're either delaying it longer or you need to get her out now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's beyond broken at this point. I mean, look at the decline from the sequel trilogy, from The Force Awakens, 2 billion, Last Jedi, 1.3, a significant loss in fan excitement in that period. And now we've got The Rise of Skywalker, which barely made it over $1 billion. They've lost over 50% of their audience with their sequel trilogy. The one thing that's been there's 2 things recently that's been universally at least liked and accepted by the fan base, and that's The Mandalorian and Jedi Fallen Order. Two things where have we seen any pictures of Kathleen Kennedy on the set of The Mandalorian?
There's one famous picture where it's George Lucas is like sitting next to Favreau, and then Filoni's on the other side of him, and Kathleen Kennedy is in the second row.
I haven't seen that one. So that's the only one we've got, right? All the other pics have Jon Favreau handling business, running this show, handling all the details, handling the script, handling the creative situation, the directors. It's all Favreau, and probably Filoni probably has a lot to do with it too. Point is Kathleen Kennedy's not involved. Now, another story that broke was for Jedi Fallen Order. Fucking Respawn and EA had to go to Lucasfilm and argue with them about featuring the Jedi. Now, I didn't cover this story. What was the specifics of that story, Ryan? Because I know you covered it.
Yeah, so Respawn wanted to come and do this video game, and they proposed Jedi Fallen Order effectively. And Lucasfilm was like, well, instead of a Jedi and lightsabers, could you guys do something with bounty hunters and blasters? And the guys that did that, because they're the guys that did, Sekiro, Shadows Never Die, or whatever it is, the game that Mark really likes, that's a melee combat-based game, which is, if you've played Jedi Fallen Order, it's like kind of like Dark Souls and kind of like Sekiro. I think that's what it is. I've never played that game, but I've seen Mark play it. That's what their production team is built of, people that are built to make those games. So the guy was like, you're looking up the wrong, like, we have to replace our entire team. We don't know how to do that. You might as well make a racing game. And they finally had to convince them to allow them to do a Force user with a lightsaber. And lo and behold, we get the one really highly held, critically acclaimed game accepted by fans since Lucasfilm got rid of LucasArts and let EA start handling business.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Why would you need to convince Lucasfilm to have Jedi in a fucking video game? I mean, it's unbelievable. Oh my God.
The fucking irony is when they bought Star Wars and they got rid of LucasArts, they canceled a perfect game with bounty hunters and blasters called Star Wars 1313. I don't know if you remember the first trailer we got for that.
I don't remember the trailer, but I do remember when this thing got canceled and it was a meltdown.
It was going to be like a 20-year-old Boba Fett, basically, set in Coruscant, 1313 being the level in Coruscant all the way down the seedy underbelly. And it was going to essentially play like Uncharted. It was going to play like Uncharted, but you're Boba Fett. That's what they got rid of when they decided to just redo Battlefront.
I mean, this is not complicated. It's not complicated. I'm not saying anyone can do it. I'm saying anyone with a level of competence in the industry, from a business perspective and a producer perspective. If you go into Lucasfilm, an already built foundation that George Lucas gave you with just an unbelievable amount of stories and mythology and characters, and you already have enough smart people that you can reach out to and surround yourself with that has the knowledge of the Star Wars lore. And it's not that complicated to actually make this successful based on the template that George has left behind. You've got the budget, you've got the resources, you've got the name recognition, you've got the history, you've got the lore, you've got the fan base. And this woman continues to fuck it up every time you turn around. She's fucking up everything. It is unreal. Like, even Battlefront, like, I like the Battlefront games, the new ones. You have to be really tone deaf to name these games Battlefront. Like, you really have to be a fucking idiot to name these games Battlefront. Like, what is wrong with you? That is such a misstep to the fandom to name these games Battlefront. So as much as I enjoy them, and I really do enjoy Battlefront 2, Battlefront 2017, 2019, whatever you want to call it, I really enjoy this game. But calling it Battlefront is such a fucking slap in the face to the fans. And anybody who at Lucasfilm isn't sitting there going, "Hey, yeah, we shouldn't call this Battlefront." There's a big movement for Battlefront 3. This is not Battlefront 3. You know,
it is. You're right, and that really describes this entire arc of Disney Star Wars is tone deaf. And and disrespect to the fans, because that's what it is. Because at the end of the day, we can see what they're doing. They're trying to capture a new group of fans, a different group of fans. They still want the old fans' money, but if they piss on the legacy a little bit, they don't really care. They want a different generation. And it doesn't seem like they're really hitting the mark, unfortunately for them. So old fans hate it. You can't generate new fans. A sad situation to be in when you have $4 billion invested in this thing and still in the red.
Chris Hassian says, why calling it Battlefront bad? I kind of just explained that. I mean, Battlefront, the first two Battlefronts are iconic. Those are legendary Star Wars games, okay? And, you know, you're not building upon that. Plus, Battlefront 3 is something that's heavily desired within the Star Wars community, a true Battlefront 3. So it's kind of, and what Ryan just said is accurate. It's kind of like they just want to build upon the name without actually giving any substance to it. And that's just kind of what they've done with Lucasfilm and Star Wars in general. But naming it Battlefront, naming Battlefront 2015, that game, like you could have named it anything else. And I think it would have had a significantly better reception from the fan base. Do you agree, Ryan?
Yeah,
if it was named something different, because I really love Battlefront 2015 for what it was. It was an online multiplayer shooter. It was authentic to Star Wars. The sounds, the graphics, everything was great. The gameplay was a little but still, it was good. It was good for what it was. I knew there wouldn't be a campaign, and that's fine. It was kind of rushed out so we could get out before The Force Awakens. But calling it Battlefront put a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths from the beginning. That was a huge problem.
Because we were waiting for Battlefront 3. Like, that's what so many people wanted. And then you call something Battlefront, but it's not Battlefront 3. It'd be like all the people out there that want Force Unleashed 3 or KOTOR 3. It's like coming out with a game they call Force Unleashed, and it's about like some force-sensitive teenage girl or something that's trained by Rey. You know what I mean?
This comment right here says it all right there. So I married Battlefront 2 from 2005. I mean, that's how much people love those games. You know what I mean? So,
well, I know a lot of people run all the mods on there. Same thing with Empire at War. That's a strategy game. I don't know if you've ever played that. That is kept alive, but they just dropped a new update. They have different updates you can play in different eras of Star Wars. It's so awesome. And I know a lot of people play both Battlefront 2 and Empire at War with mods because they would rather play that than the new stuff that's coming out.
Yeah. It's sad, a sad situation we're in. If you're just joining us, the Obi-Wan Kenobi series from Disney Plus has been put on hold indefinitely, according to Collider. Let me knock out a couple of super chats really quickly. Tyler Birdman, the negotiations were short. I read that one, and that's fantastic. Red alert, no matter what we say, Tyler Norton will find a way to whine about it. Tyler Norton is a legend in our comments.
I don't understand how he's able to post so much. When I have someone post like 2 comments on a video, it gets held as spam. Tyler Norton must have like God tier level of YouTube because he's able to post 1 million times on every video.
I know.
Like, even using copy paste. How the fuck does he do anything else with his life?
Oh man, so good. Zach Gilbert, hello, my E-words. Remember to water your jebs. Nice. Echo Base Network. The one thing I was looking forward to, facepalm. Yep, exactly. Dylan Morrow, Reverse Flash is going to be female. I've just heard about that.
Yeah, so this is a rumor that's been going around. Jessica Chastain is rumored to be Reverse Flash. I don't know if I buy it. I don't know. I don't want to buy it. I don't think they could be that fucking stupid, but it's Warner Brothers. So
they can be that stupid. They really can. The Jenkins Show says, let John take over Lucasfilm. I agree. I mean, Favreau's definitely a better option than what we have.
Yeah.
Shannon M. Kennedy just needs to bite oh man, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
Can I say it?
No. Bring in Favreau. Bring in a real Star Wars creative team. Burn the Disney flag. I'm not going to say that first part, but I appreciate the super chat. And on that note, I will say I can't say this. Like in 1 month from now, we are going on a complete overhaul on geeksandgamers.com. The website will be completely rebuilt from the ground up, and we're going to have a massive community presence there where you're going to be able to go and have your discussions on geeksandgamers.com. Full forums, full profiles, full everything. And we're spending a lot of money on this, but it's going to take about a month for us to build this. And I am so fucking excited. And you're not going to have to worry about being censored over there. It's going to be fantastic. So all of the support that you give us, the money goes back into Geeks and Gamers. This is a big project. This is costing me, oh my God, it's costing me a lot of money.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, Ryan knows how much I'm spending on this, but I am so happy. I am so happy. And we will, about a month from now. So be on the lookout for that. But thank you so much. Luis says, this is a strategic move to not count Kathleen Kennedy contract. I don't know what you mean by that. Waira says Star Wars is a rotting franchise. Thanks, Disney. It truly is. It truly is at this point. Nick Craig, how do these jokers still have a job after all this? That is what we're all asking. How does this woman still have all of this? It's unbelievable. Joel Weiss says, if your opponent is of choleric temper, seek to irritate him. I'm sorry. There's so much spelling there on these. I'm sorry. If your opponent is of choleric, how do you say that? Choleric temper, seek to irritate him. I fucked that one all up. Dragon Hatcher 12.
Hey, you got it, guys. Listen, if you want to get your money's worth, remember, like, 2-syllable words only.
Yeah, I'm from Alabama. What's the F for?
F in chat to pay respects to Star Wars.
Or to my blip, Dragon Hatcher. Could this be confirmation that she is done at Lucasfilm? Don't start any new content under her terrible leadership. Want Trevorrow episode 9 cut? We're never going to get an episode 9 cut. It's not going to happen. No. I mean, that's an entire new film. The whole thing with the Lucas cut, I'm sorry, not the Lucas cut, the
Abrams
Snyder cut, the Snyder cut and the Abrams cut is that those are films that actually exist because they were created. A Trevorrow cut is an actual brand new film with new production and everything. That's not realistic, unfortunately. Darth Who, just when we thought Disney couldn't screw Star Wars any further, this happens. Exactly. David Hervey, Kathleen Kennedy is a made woman in Hollyweird. Plus, I'm pretty sure she knows where all the bodies are at. I feel sorry for Deborah Chow, though. I do, too. I mean, Kathleen Kennedy has dirt on some powerful men. I think that's the most logical assumption we can make at this point. Why else does she have a job?
That's gross to think about.
It's true, and you fucking know it.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And I think that's how a lot of Hollywood works, obviously. Deborah Chow... we'll see. Again, this is on hold indefinitely. At the end of the day, I would be shocked if they didn't pull this together, even if it is a lot later than maybe many of us expected. But there's so much on the line for this. Deborah Chow had so much goodwill, man. Like people like you were saying, give her a trilogy. And I'm like, well, let's slow the roll a little bit. Maybe let's see more than 2 30-minute episodes of Mandalorian before we give this woman a trilogy or anybody a trilogy. But I was excited. I wasn't super excited to see the show per se because I have my own story about what happened between episodes 3 and 4. It's called a book called Kenobi, and it's awesome. Go check it out. Expanded Universe is way better than Disney Star Wars. But Deborah Chow, I was excited to see what she was going to do because I'm kind of interested in her.
Yeah, I think Deborah Chow could be great. Trace XL says, does Lucasfilm just not like money? Why can't they give the fans what they want? Do these shows right instead of injecting nonsense and they'd do gangbusters? It's not that deep. And that is the whole point I'm trying to make here. It's not that hard to do Star Wars right. As long as you have the right mindset and you're a competent person. Like, no, I couldn't run Lucasfilm. I don't know anything about the business of Hollywood. I don't know the business of running a studio. But if you get a competent person in that position that has the right mindset and the right agenda in mind, the resources that Disney offers, the resources that Lucasfilm offers, and the what did George Lucas call it? You know, like the sandbox that he left behind, you know? I mean, the treasure trove is what he called it. You know, a treasure trove of stories and books and characters.
That's what Bob Iger said. Oh, we've got 10,000 different characters and 1,000 different worlds, all this stuff. All those things from the expanded universe, mind you. There wasn't that many just in George Lucas's Star Wars. They had all that, and they decided to throw it away and bitch about not having source material.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. But that's where we're at. So, again, Obi-Wan Kenobi series has been put on hold, according to Collider. And in this article, it says Kathleen Kennedy was not happy with the scripts. So what does that tell anyone with any level of common sense? It tells us what? It tells us that it must have been good because anything this woman is involved in, I mean, it is depressing. It is depressing. Unfortunately, but that's the world we live in with Lucasfilm. This is why I complain about Lucasfilm every single day. This is why I will continue to complain about Lucasfilm every single day. Recap one more time. I know a lot of people are coming in and out. According to Collider, the Obi-Wan Kenobi series has been put on indefinite hold. Now, there was a lot of rumors about a week ago that were kind of out there. There was a parody account that said some things about the Obi-Wan Kenobi series had been canceled. And then a couple of days later is when the rumors started to happen. A lot of people put those two things together and say, oh, it's just because of the parody account. That's not what happened. Geeks and Gamers covered the article, covered the story. There was a lot of losers out there that haven't seen their penis in a long time that accused Geeks and Gamers of spreading fake news because it's fake news if it's news we don't want to hear. And ultimately we were right. That's not to say that this is confirmed because again, Disney nor Lucasfilm has actually confirmed the story. What we're saying is that now reputable sites are picking this story up. Grace Randolph ran with it the day after the rumor started breaking, and Grace Randolph said that she was hearing there was a lot of production issues behind the scenes. And now here we have Collider with two independent sources, and their sources are better than your sources. Our closest situation tell Collider that the Obi-Wan Kenobi series has been put on hold as the crew that had assembled at Pinewood Studios in London was sent home. A time frame was not given, but the crew was told that the show would be down indefinitely. That is your latest update right there.
And based on what Grace said, they were told they could go look for other work. So it's not like a week or two thing. They're letting them go and find other things to do because it's going to be a while. Not to mean it's canceled. But there's no doubt now, there shouldn't be, that this was a fake thing from a parody account. There were real rumblings, just like we said, just like I said on my channel. It's not about this stupid little parody account. These media sites, you can't blame them. They want to get clicks, just like everybody. But at the same time, all they do is exactly what everyone else does. They just Google stuff. That's all that they do. They don't know anything. A lot of them don't have inside sources. A lot of the ones that you see recycle the same articles over and over again. Just like that bullshit about Tor Valum that I talked about on my channel too with Colin Trevorrow's villain in Duel of the Fates. Everyone's like, oh, look, we got to look at him in the Rise of Skywalker concept art. No, you didn't. You didn't do your research. You didn't read the Jedi Praxis leaks because you guys aren't actually Star Wars fans. You just write these articles.
Yep, that's right. Oh man, these people are hilarious. And again, they expose themselves every single day. And it's fun. There was a super chat that I think I missed that was directed at you. I can't find it.
To me?
Yeah, it was something about, maybe I didn't miss it. Huh. Maybe they deleted it. I don't know. Oh, there it is. No, Modalicious says, RK, bro, that movie sucked. I don't know what movie he was talking about. That was at 6:40, so that was about 18 minutes ago. So I'm not sure.
That movie sucked.
Yeah, I don't know I don't remember what you were talking about at the time.
Are you talking about The Rise of Skywalker? You're right. Are you talking about The Force Awakens? You're right. You're talking about The Last Jedi? You're 100% right.
If you're talking about Batman versus Superman, you're right. If you're talking about Man of Steel, you're right.
We hadn't even talked about that, so it couldn't have been that.
And Stone Cold Jeremy says Kathleen Kennedy is such an idiot. She'd fuck up a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. That is true. That is true. She would. Star Wars for Life. I skipped one. Hang on. Star Wars for Life. Jeremy, where's Ahsoka? You used to have on your mic. Please put back Ahsoka. Ahsoka is right here. Okay. Ahsoka is right here.
You got told it was Dave Filoni's masturbatory fantasy and threw it away.
I have this little stand that she goes on, and then I had a little thing that tied around. She keeps falling off. I got tired of dealing with it. Should we listen to John Campia's all-time bad take really quick? Should we do that?
Well, I actually only think half of it's all-time bad. But
it's pretty all-time bad. It's pretty all-time bad. Let's see here. Oh well, I gotta close out. I gotta
get share audio.
Yeah, share audio.
I think the part about like he's going really overboard with why Dave Filoni created this character. Because as you know, I subscribe to the theory that Dave Filoni is a furry. So I don't believe that part of his of why he created the character. But we'll listen to it and I'll give my take.
All right, you ready for this all-time bad take from John Campia? Here we go.
The one thing that pissed me off.
Uh-oh.
First of all, Dave Filoni continues with his incredible masturbatory self-obsession with this Ahsoka Tano character. Listen, I don't mind Clone Wars. I don't hate Clone Wars. All right. There are some things about it that I enjoy. When they showed that Darth Maul and Ahsoka Tano were going to have a big showdown, if Dave Filoni dares have this freaking little self-masturbatory fantasy girl that he created in his head beat Darth Maul, I'm officially full-blown fuck Dave Filoni. If he has his little self-important little masturbatory project, Ahsoka Tano beat Darth Maul, I am officially full-blown fuck Dave Filoni.
What if they
I'm not there
still?
I'm not there yet. I like Dave Filoni. I've met Dave Filoni. He's a cool dude, huge Star Wars fan. But if he has his little pet science project come in and beat Darth Maul, screw him. Like totally screw him. But if he just straight up has his own little Star Wars creation beat Darth Maul, I'm gonna be so butthurt as a Star Wars fan.
Well, John, I got some bad news for you, John. I got some bad news for you. Ahsoka already tied Vader in a battle. Maybe you don't know that. Maybe you don't watch Star Wars. Maybe you're not caught up into the lore. But anybody that was trained by Anakin Skywalker, I believe, is justifiable to stand toe-to-toe with Darth Maul. But when we criticize the fact that Rey gets to beat the hell out of Luke Skywalker and literally every fucking body that comes in her path with no training, suddenly we're toxic man babies, basement dwelling, cousin humping man babies, according to John. But a female character that has been fully trained and fully developed by Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi, and who was on the Jedi, but she was a trained Jedi by the Jedi Council, Yoda, Mace Windu, she's not good enough, according to John. But Rey, if you criticize Disney's creation, you're toxic man baby. Let me hear what the Filoni hater has to say, Ryan.
Well, this is what I will say. I'll say that I agree. She went toe-to-toe with Anakin and died and should have died and should have remained dead. Should have remained dead. But what are you talking about? You talking about when they went world between worlds to save her?
Yes, she didn't die.
Oh yeah, she didn't die.
Dude, at the end of Twilight the Apprentice, that episode, you see her walking down those stairs. She was never dead.
So, okay. I got you.
She's never dead.
So she goes toe-to-toe with Anakin, but this is 15 years into the future from where we're talking about right now. You got to remember, Clone Wars only lasted a couple years. So she went from being an apprentice to Anakin to where she is now when we're going to see her in Clone Wars Season 7, which bumps right up against Revenge of the Sith. So I do kind of agree, but that's the problem with Ahsoka is you have her going toe to toe with General Grievous and like shit like that all the time. She's OP. There's no doubt that she is OP in the Clone Wars. So it's if we had a maybe normal Ahsoka throughout the Clone Wars facing Maul at this point, I kind of would agree that for her to like wipe the floor with them is a little ridiculous. They will end in a somewhat
She's not going to wipe the floor. She's not going to wipe the floor with Maul.
No. But here's what will happen. It's going to end in kind of a draw, and she's going to have the opportunity to kill him or go save Rex, and she's going to go save Rex because that's what we know already happens, kind of from the other materials that we have in Disney canon. But she is going to, defeat him in a way. That's what we're going to see. I'm trying to find here.
Well, Lance says Ahsoka will die. We hear her voice in what is TT? I don't know what TT is, but that Rise of Skywalker. Yes, we did, but Ahsoka's not going to die now. Yeah, the Ahsoka is at the end of Rebels. So no, that's is not. She's not going to die at all.
I do agree. I want to play something for you here.
Okay. By the way, if you're just joining us, we have been talking about the fact that the Obi-Wan Kenobi series has been canceled, or at least put on hold indefinitely, according to Collider. Now, there is a few beta males out there that haven't seen their penis in a very long time. Probably the last time they saw their penis was when their boyfriend played with it, but that's neither here nor there. They wanted to say that Geeks and Gamers was spreading fake news. The only fake news is that you have a sex life, because that is true fake news. I was almost about to say some bad words, but we're on YouTube, so I got to stop. But the point is we were right and you were wrong once again. The Fandom Menace was right. Geeks and Gamers was right. Candace was right. Candace has been on top of all of this stuff. Candace is always out there kicking ass and taking names. And just because Candace is so much more attractive than any woman that you could ever hook up with, it doesn't mean anything. You're just losers in life, okay? And Geeks and Gamers, we are winners. You're losers and we're winners. I'm only doing this to be a sarcastic asshole right now, and I love it. Okay, what do you want to show me?
All right, so I want to show you.
Wait, hang on. This is confirmed right here. Let me find it. Confirmed, Peter. That is breaking news. Beta males have no penis. All right,
there you go. So it's just a snippet, but this kind of explains why people talk about Filoni and his obsession with Ahsoka, and how in a lot of ways maybe it went contrary to what Lucas would have wanted for Ahsoka. So let's see if hopefully this will be loud enough.
I don't think it's a mystery that I've always been a bit more in the Ahsoka Lives camp. And George has been very full on in the Ahsoka Dies camp. I think I've said that before, if not revelation for you. So,
and what Dave is talking about, as he's talking about, it has always been, there's other clips that put it together, but Dave's always talked about how George, it was always an intention for Ahsoka to die during Order 66. During the Jedi Purge, Ahsoka was to die in George's mind. We see with Rebels that is not quite the case, not what happened. So I can kind of understand where some people are coming to that criticism of, of Dave Filoni's obsession with the character of Ahsoka. And it's kind of true, even against the wishes of the person who created her.
Well, yeah, and to be clear, Ryan's not the biggest fan of the Clone Wars. Ryan's one of these EU nut jobs.
Listen, I got fucking Blu-rays of the Clone Wars. There's parts of the Clone Wars that I really enjoy. I just think that I think that I have some issues with them. That's all. There's definitely parts of them I enjoy, and I put them I used to put them on Netflix. And play them when I was not doing anything else and didn't need to focus on anything and could let my children watch it, stuff like that. So I enjoyed parts of the Clone Wars, but there's parts of it that I have big problems with.
And he also is a release of Snyder Cut loser as well. So,
yeah.
What do you do? What do you do? I can't hit a home run every time I bring somebody to Geeks and Gamers. So there's always a Ryan out there. Or someone that doesn't know who Jim Lee is. Sorry, Josiah. Love you, Josiah. Okay, anyway, So I think we're gonna close this up pretty soon because, like I said, I was gonna go live with Krista, so we're gonna send a wave over there to her stream here in a minute. But to close this out, to recap this, and I'm gonna read super chat, so don't worry. But Obi-Wan Kenobi series has been put on hold indefinitely, according to Collider. Now, about a week ago, there was a lot of rumors that came out about this show, and you know, a lot of people shot it down saying it was fake news. And now we have Collider confirming with 2 independent sources that it is in fact true. That doesn't mean that it is true. That does not come from Disney. That does not come from Lucasfilm. That does not come from anyone representing the company. But it is still a report out there from a credible source. So that is what we are notating. Also, Grace Randolph reported that this was going on as well. If this is in fact true, and even if it's not true, the point is there's something going on. All this does is continues to confirm that Kathleen Kennedy is the most incompetent person on the planet. This woman is a terrible leader. She's terrible for women. She's terrible for men. She's terrible for anybody that is trying to succeed due to hard work, because she is a glorified secretary that probably has a lot of dirt on somebody like Steven Spielberg and Bob Iger. Therefore, she's been elevated to this role that she does not deserve, that she did not earn, and now they're stuck with this woman who has ruined Star Wars right before our very eyes. That is what's going on here. So it's just unbelievable. It's absolutely unbelievable. But that's the report. What do you got to add to that, Ryan?
No, I just want to say something. Shout out to Ernesto Schulterbrandt, who said, Ryan seems like a bitter critic who's hard to please. And I responded, I am hard to please. Just ask your mother. He thinks that joke's too corny. So I'm sorry I didn't live up to your standards.
That's what we do, guys. We make the mom jokes. We make the penis jokes because they get the SJWs so worked up when we do it. It is so funny to watch these grown-ass men that pretend that they respect women and they don't have any sexual intentions whatsoever to go ree every time we make these jokes. It's all intended to expose these men that sit when they pee. That's all we're trying to do. So it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. But yeah, so that's where we're at with it. So we have a few super chats. Mazamonti says maybe we should be lobbying the shareholders. That's a possibility. That's a possibility. Nerf Piratey says I don't like Nancy Pelosi. That is all. that's the super chat. That's great.
I saw one person that said in the chat Nancy Pelosi's ugly. I saw that one like 30 minutes ago.
Can we make that a thing where people just randomly say Nancy Pelosi's ugly just for the hell of it? Maybe that's our new solo lost money. Ween Zero says Bob Iger can't fire Kathleen Kennedy because she's a whammon. He made his bed, now he has to lie in it. But it's the fans that are paying for it. That is 100% accurate. Dragon Hatcher 12. Lothal Temple, Time Portal seem to be our only hope. That is, see, Dave Filoni gave us the option. Thank you, Dave. Thank you.
What? Sorry, can you say it again?
So we can do the world in between worlds.
No, yeah, exactly. Yeah, death doesn't matter in Star Wars. Nothing matters. You can just go back to the future as long as you're Space Aladdin and you find the right spot at the right time. You can go there. Yeah, Broom Boy, Space Aladdin. Everybody can use the Force. Doesn't matter. I love Star Wars now. Disney Star Wars is great.
I had to keep smiling. I have
to keep smiling.
Let's see.
ATSGs.
Aaron C says Hassan Amini was apparently the writer. He's got a decent track record. Is that for Obi-Wan? Okay.
Yeah, that rings a bell.
Okay. MW77. Didn't Kathleen Kennedy say the scripts were finished at D23? Oh my God. We got to do some research on that. We're going to do another video for the channel because this is not going to stay public, but that's actually hilarious. We'll have to look into that. Good catch, MW77. Modalicious, RK, I sent a tweet after I borrowed an eye patch.
Okay. I think he means that I helped him watch Rise of Skywalker, if I had to guess.
Okay. Gray Ghost, if Star Wars under George was the Republic, Disney would be the Empire. The fans are the Rebel Alliance, and numbers are growing. The Phantom Menace are the real Last Jedis. Thanks for being a new hope. That's a nice one right there. Nice. Trace XL released the Campia cut of the Clone Wars season 7. That's nothing but Ahsoka scenes. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
God.
I like that.
I can't wait to see her hook up with that shaved-headed chick.
Oh, that's gonna be so bad.
You know, originally, so when people are listen, I got one thing to say about Clone Wars. When people are saying that, don't worry, guys, these were already made. These were already made. That's true. The scripts for these were made. However, there are clearly some differences already because we know that character was not supposed to be this shaved-headed or like weird-haired chick. It was supposed to be a dude. It was supposed to be a guy that Ahsoka met in the underworld. They had a couple like adventures together running around as she was like kind of getting her bearings after leaving the Jedi Order. Now that has changed. That has changed to some random woman, random girl. I don't know why, but it has changed. So don't tell me that these are exactly the same, that they didn't do anything to them. That's not true. Now, I don't think a lot's going to change, but it's simply a fact. So,
yep, look at that. Nerdrotic, August 23rd. Scripts are finished. Kathleen Kennedy at D23 confirmed. Doing a video on that one, baby. Thank you, Gary. And congratulations. Gary is killing it. Gary is going to have more subs than Geeks and Gamers very soon. And John Campia. Gary's going to have more subs than everybody because Gary's a beast. My good friend Gary, Gary and I are going to be doing a show here on Geeks and Gamers, a weekly show. More to come. So stay tuned for that. Modalicious says, hashtag who's John Campia. Raging Rhino, 99-cent super chat. Thank you. Matt G. Kenobi shelved because episode 9 is still being filmed. That's funny. Drake is 6. LOL. Savage take Jeremy Savage. Damn right. Anomaly Inc. Before I hit the Geeks and Gamers membership button, I was on a month-long dry spell, but then I hit that sweet button, and the next day my dry spell was over.
Nice.
Thanks, brother Anomaly. Thanks, man. Sea Lime Blue says the Force is dead and women killed it. Dave Chappelle. Johnny the Whiz Kid. Raylos are weirdos, not just weirdos. Damn right. Brendan Bellman, fans are kind of the reason George Lucas sold the company. Yeah, I mean, I can't argue with that, but I'm a prequel defender. Midnight's Edge is a new member. Thank you, Midnight's Edge After Dark. Eric Nelson, looks like I wasn't woke enough for Kathleen Kennedy and Lucasfilm. Oh man.
So I don't know if you checked the Geeks and Gamers chat, but Uche just posted something. He's like, guys, the Kenobi series is on hold.
Oh boy, Uche. All right, so we got two streams you guys can go join. I'm gonna go join Darth Barbie. We also got Drunk 3PO. So if you guys want to, we'll stream snipe her right now. Go into the chat and just hashtag do hot dog emojis because that might get bad. So do hot dog emojis for
one more thing that I've seen in the last couple articles that I've looked at. The original plan of 6 episodes is being reconfigured to 4 episodes with the scripts that they're trying to rewrite. So there you go.
Interesting indeed. All right, so that's going to wrap this up. Like I said, I'm going to go join Darth Barbie. I'm going to try to join her game. We had some technical difficulties the other day, but I'm going to go over there and join her. Also, if you want to go to Drunk 3PO's live stream and spam him as well, that's always a plus. So join me over on Darth Barbie's channel. She's part of the Geeks and Gamers team. She just did her first Twitch stream for the Gaming with Geeks channel. Our Twitch account that's been dead for 6 months, and she fired it up today, and we had a huge turnout. So why does it say hot dog emoji? I don't know why that says hot dog emoji, but anyway, so I'm going to go join her. Ryan, subscribe to RK Outpost, subscribe to Nerdrotic, subscribe to Drunk 3PO, subscribe to Darth Barbie, and anyone else you see here on the Geeks and Gamers channel. I appreciate all of you. I will see you all tomorrow. Is it tomorrow on Friday Night Tights? Yes, tomorrow on Friday Night Tights over on Nerdrotic's channel. I didn't miss your did I miss your super chat? Oh, Midnight's Edge After Dark. Shout out to Candace. She worked hard on that. Yes, Candace is amazing. We love Candace. She's a great member of the Geeks and Gamers team, and I'll probably let her upload her own individual video on this story when she has time. So, all right, guys, I'll see you over on Darth Barbie's channel. Have a great night. Ryan, fuck you for hating on the Clone Wars. So.
Yeah, I'm critical of the Clone Wars. I'm critical of the fucking savior, Dave Filoni. I got all these cocksuckers in chat fucking give me a hard time. Fuck you. Dave Filoni likes wolves a little too much. Look into it, guys.
All right, everybody. Have a good night, and we will talk to you later.